What's up, space pirates? This is your Admiral, the decidedly debonair Dr. Disaster. And I'm not going to bury the lead with this video. There are some estimates as to the total budget of Assassin's Creed Shadows floating around on social media right now, and if those estimates are correct, then Ubisoft is going to have to swallow a massive failure while gamers get to grin from ear to ear and laugh. I mean, look here, all the money that Ubisoft has spent on this thing, and they haven't even cracked 30,000 followers over on Steam yet. They haven't even cracked the top 10 bestsellers a week out from the game's release. This is absolutely pathetic. Don't get me wrong, they will eventually rise to the top of the charts. On the day of the release for Shadows, if not before, they're gonna hit number 1, and all the Ubisoft defenders out there will act like their team just won the Super Bowl or something like that, while the rest of us shrug our shoulders and say, whoop-de-doo! A major AAA game like this should hit number 1 on the Steam charts, for Pete's sake. After all, Dragon Age the Veilguard managed to do that despite the fact that it ended up being one of the biggest flops that we've seen in a long time. But when you look at the muted response to this game, an Assassin's Creed title, which finally has visited Japan, you just have to wonder, what the hell happened to all the money? The game development doesn't look particularly impressive after all, and the so-called research done on Japanese history and culture has been about as respectful as this.
Pathetic.
So once again, I have to ask, where the hell did all that money go? $400 million is the rumor that's floating around, and if it is even half that, then this game is absolutely toast. The amount of copies that they would need to sell in order to break even on a $400 million budget is so astronomical that there is no wonder that Ubisoft is rumored to be shopping their IPs around to the likes of Microsoft and EA. Such a budget will cause this company to crumble, despite all the bluster from Ubisoft and their mouthpieces.
Ready for the hurricane? Just don't go crying to Mama when I spank you in front of all these people.
Alright, me hearties, make sure that you hit the like button on this video in order to fend off the evil algorithm monster, subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet, and don't forget to follow me over on X, where my handle is Dr. Disaster 1. But alright, in any case, let's talk about the budget of Assassin's Creed Shadows and what to expect for sales on this game. A couple weeks ago, Asmongold made a video talking about this game where he predicted somewhere around the 3 to 4 million copies sold mark. That would be full price copies sold at release, by the way. A lot of people point to copies sold of a game after a year or two and fail to take into account how many of them were sold at discount. But anyhow, he predicted that, which is pretty reasonable. I have actually lowered my expectations quite a bit, as we haven't seen much of a climb for this game on the Steam numbers, despite the fact that this game is due to come out in a week now. That is absolutely ominous for Ubisoft. These numbers here suggest that they will have a Steam release weaker than Avowed, who had twice the number of followers and who only ended up with less than 20,000 concurrent players at its max. It's possible that we still could be surprised, but that is looking more and more unlikely. If anything is going to save Ubisoft, it seems like it'll have to be the gaming consoles. People will have to to buy on PS5 and Xbox, but at this point, I'm calling my shot and guessing that they will sell a couple million copies in their first weekend of release, and they, Ubisoft, and their mouthpieces will tout this like it's a big win. But that is massively disappointing, especially if this budget here is to be believed. Let's take a look at it. Keep in mind, before we read this post, that the budget of Star Wars Outlaws ended up being about $250 million before marketing costs. So, this post here is likely not too far off. But anyhow, it's been circulated heavily online, and it says, while exact figures for Assassin's Creed Shadows' budget haven't been officially disclosed by Ubisoft, various reports and industry speculation provide some insight. Rumors suggest the production budget could range between $250 and $350 million, with development starting around 2018. This estimate aligns with the scale of modern AAA titles from Ubisoft, especially given Shadows is a flagship entry in the Assassin's Creed series, featuring a large, open-world set in feudal Japan and dual protagonists. Additionally, the Ubisoft CEO confirmed in October that the initial delay from November to February added an extra $21 million to the budget for polishing and optimization. A second delay to March 20th likely increased costs further, potentially by several million more, though no precise figure has been specified for this extension. These delays reflect Ubisoft's focus on delivering a high-quality experience, but they also inflate the overall investment, including marketing, which for a title of this magnitude could easily match or exceed half the production cost. The total budget might approach or surpass $400 million. For context, Valhalla reportedly had a production budget of $150 to $200 million, and Shadows is positioned as an even larger and more ambitious project targeting next-gen platforms. However, without official confirmation, these numbers remain speculative, pieced together from industry trends, etc. Alright, so let's assume best case scenario and go with the high end of Asmongold's prediction that the game sells around 4 million units at full price. Now, the average sale price of the game will be $70, and Ubisoft only takes home around 75% of that number. Whatever platform it's purchased on, Xbox, PlayStation, Steam, or even just a retail store, that platform takes approximately 25% of the total sales dollars. That means that Ubisoft is left with roughly $52.50 per copy sold. If they sell 4 million copies, they will bring home $210 million. If the budget is anywhere near $400 million, this is an absolute wipeout. They would need to sell around twice that to turn a profit. And once again, I'm expecting somewhere closer to 2 or 3 million copies. As you can see, things are not looking good for the financial health of this game or the company that made it. They were banking on selling 10 million copies or more. They were banking on a Japanese Assassin's Creed being a major cultural event that everyone would feel the need to experience, but they pissed in their own face when they decided to invite all the controversy and push all their progressive BS into the game. I guess the world was a very different place in 2018 when they first conceived of the game. They thought they were safe making the game back then, but it looks like that will really bite them in the ass now. Anyhow, I'm gonna leave it there. Drop your mockery of this doomed game into the comment section below, and we will talk there. Thanks for watching me, Hearties. If you haven't already, your Admiral is inviting you to subscribe to the channel and become a part of the crew. Life as a space pirate may not be glamorous, but there's always plenty of booty.